pointed at me. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the New Year, New Name campaign brought to you by the Neighborhood Services Department. My name is Carmen Capizzuto. I'm the Director of Neighborhood Services. This is Mark Hamill to my left here. He's the Program Manager for the NICE program. In the audience, we have Mayor Orvek with us. Hello, Mayor. And Assistant City Manager Patricia Roebling. We'd like to welcome everybody that's viewing online on Live TV 20 right now, and also on Facebook Live as well. We've used the Facebook Live platform before for public information meetings and reached thousands of people, so we know it's difficult to get here. So those of you that got here today, thank you so much. And those of you that are online, thank you as well, and we appreciate you being with us tonight. Neighborhood Services Department, really quickly, was established in summer of 2016 due to the City Council's commitment and focus on vibrant neighborhoods. And so this program, this NICE program that we're going to talk about tonight, shows you just truly what that commitment is going to be and what that's going to mean for you as residents. The Neighborhood Services Department, we're a 7-day-a-week operation. We oversee proactive code compliance services, housing and grant services. We oversee solid waste and recycling collection for the city. So we're a busy group, and we are happy to bring you this presentation tonight about our NICE program. The NICE program and neighborhoods are the essence of what this department's all about. And this campaign tonight is all about starting the process of creating neighborhood identity, branding, and community engagement. So without neighborhoods, we wouldn't have much of a city now, would we? So without you, we're not going to be able to get as much done as we need. So we're going to talk, this is going to be focused on public involvement and community engagement, as you'll see. So tonight, here's what we're going to try to accomplish in this presentation. These are our meeting objectives. We're going to talk about what is the NICE program. I want to give you a brief history of how we got here through the city's neighborhood planning process. We're going to talk about the New Year, New Name campaign, which you've heard me mention a few times. We're going to talk about the annual NICE Day, which is going to be the city's first ever citywide block party with a neighborhood focus, and that's coming next month. We're going to talk about connecting with us on the new NICE website, and we're going to highlight some of the successful projects that we've had so far in the community. And lastly, we're going to talk about how organizing amongst yourselves can lead to long-term planning and tangible results for your neighborhood. So the City of Port St. Lucie, the City Council, has a strategic plan. And the strategic plan has 7 main goals. Today's focus is goal number 2, which are vibrant neighborhoods. So I want to kind of take a quick pause and ask you here in the audience, in the live audience here, what does a vibrant neighborhood mean to you? And we're going to take notes. What does a vibrant neighborhood mean?
Where people are involved and get in with what's going on in their area and in the city itself.
Okay, where people are involved and get involved in what the city's doing. Mark, please help me out with a prize. Who else? Who else in the audience can tell me? Just there's no right or wrong answer. What is your what comes to mind when you hear what a vibrant neighborhood is?
Your appearance.
Your
appearance of the neighborhood. You know what it looks like, the way it's up. You know,
Where it's kept up.
it's kept up, and you know the foliage and all the flowers.
Right. So the appearance of your neighborhood, how it's kept up, landscaping, all of those aesthetic attributes. Excellent. And I got one more prize. So we'll take one more.
You can have neighborhood watches and all that type of.
So, okay, so we have a battle here. I heard caring for your neighbors. Ladies first. So caring for your neighbors.
Just knowing what's going on with them.
Exactly, yeah. So caring for your neighbors, I believe that's what we want. We want people hanging out in their front yard and communicating to their neighbors versus maybe hiding out in the backyard and not socializing with people. We want you to know your neighbors, feel safe in your communities, and enjoy living here in our wonderful city. So what is neighborhood planning?
What about Neville, what he said? I mean, he doesn't get a prize, but well, actually, what I was trying to say is that you can be an ombudsman for your neighbor. You can be a channel for the mayor. You can be a channel for anyone in the city.
Absolutely. So vibrant neighborhoods have community leadership. Did I reiterate that properly? Vibrant neighborhoods have community leadership? Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, you can have a city council.
Very good. So as we explore what vibrant neighborhoods in the NICE program are all about, it's important to know how we got here through the city's neighborhood planning process. And so what we're talking about is giving communities direct power to develop a shared vision for their neighborhood and to also shape the development and growth of your local area. Back in 2015 and 2016, the city met with residents of larger planning areas on more of a macro level. So what we're here today and for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years or more is talking about the micro level, at the neighborhood level. So this planning process focused on improving GDC neighborhoods, so just originally platted neighborhoods by general development. This planning process focused on keeping up with the changing demographics and needs of our residents. For example, people have the need for different types of living environments now. We need a variety of multifamily, single family, so on and so forth. This planning process is for guiding city policy, physical change, and decision making to achieve a vision for the future. And it's also about implementing the City Council strategic plan, which I've mentioned several times. So what is the NICE program? The NICE program is all about engaging communities at the neighborhood level. Approximately 85% of our residents do not live in a planned gated community. So what this program focuses on is to retool and equip the rest of our communities with amenities and other quality of life improvements that make living in Port St. Lucie the best it can be for everyone. So how do we plan to achieve this? Well, you can see it's in the name. The two main components of the NICE program are neighborhood improvements and community engagement. So through our website, through our special events that we do, through our HOA meetings, all of our social interactions with residents, we're constantly asking for feedback. We're asking for how do you feel about projects, and then how can we work together on prioritizing what's important for your neighborhood. So that's where the community engagement part comes in. And while we're talking to residents about community engagement and getting involved, we're encouraging them to recycle, because that's one of the most important things about this program is how it's funded. It's funded by our recycling revenue. So I'll say it again, but if you see somebody not recycling, let them know they're literally throwing money away. That could be otherwise put into neighborhood improvements. So this is a map of how the cities, well, this is a couple versions later of the map, how the city's planning consultants developed sub-areas. And step one is to name the sub-areas, and that's essentially what we're doing here tonight. We have some known areas in the community, such as St. Lucie West, Torino, Sandpiper Bay, but the majority of us who don't live in one of those areas commonly refer to where we live referencing a major intersection or some of the main roads.
Section 35.
Or Section 35.
I always felt like I lived in the sci-fi.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I was quoted in a recent press release saying nobody wants to live in Section 31, I think. So that's right on cue. So after tonight's presentation, we're going to direct everyone to the NICE website, which we'll see in a few minutes, and we're going to ask you to vote for your preferred name for your neighborhood. And polls will be open through January 31st, giving you plenty of time to talk to your friends and your neighbors, come up with what it is that you guys want, and then we're going to have a big kickoff event to announce, to reveal what these names are. And here it is. So save the date, February 17th. This is the first NICE Day citywide block party that I mentioned. We have 17 of our communities that we're going to go through this naming process, and we want everyone to come out to be a part of the big reveal. And you see here it's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here at City Hall. And so come out, meet your city council, meet your city staff, enjoy food, a raffle, music, and different activities for children, and just learn more about the city and how you can get involved. So now we'll take a look at our brand new fantastic website. And we implemented this website a few months ago. It includes a couple really neat features. Every neighborhood, now some of these are temporary names on here because that's what we're doing here tonight. But once we get through the process, your new name will be on your very own neighborhood website, which is going to be your portal for communicating with us, staff, Mark, myself, and your elected officials. And so we also have an interactive map on this website. So we brought down with us some paving schedules. If you want to know when roads are going to be paved, you want to know when sidewalks are going to go in, maybe you just want to know your trash pickup schedules. All of that is on the Find Your Neighborhood graphic right there on the homepage of the NICE website. And yes, I'll take a question.
The name that's picked, is that just going to be on paper? Is it going to be a sign over there, announcing?
The question is the name pick just going to be on paper, or is it going to be part of signage? And yes, I'm going to get to that in the presentation very soon. What, Whitney?
We have a question from Facebook Live from Joyce Clark, who is asking where her nice neighborhood is. She lives off of Natima, off Savage. Where can she go to find that information, or do you guys know it off the top of your head?
She would go to, I believe, Abingdon Lakes, which is the current temporary name for that. Great question. Thank you, Whitney. So once the naming process is complete, we're going to shift our focus to branding. And these are, not sure why my slides aren't fully loading, but okay, technical issues there. But signage and wayfinding are important in establishing the character of a community and the city as a whole. Graphics, materials, and colors are symbolic of quality, vibrancy, history, and other attributes. There's a reason why communities invest so heavily in their entry features to give residents that first impression of their desired brand or image. So soon after the naming process, we're going to be looking for community leaders to kind of help us shape the signage that we put in, the wayfinding, all of those things for your community, the locations, and all of that. And we have this project underway, and we are looking to hit the ground running with our first signs very soon. These are more enhancements to the community. Again, pardon the title on the slide. This is what we've been able to do so far. We've installed several special event banner signs throughout the city. This does it. You've seen these, okay? More popping up. What this does is this kind of gives residents, this cuts down on our sign litter. We have a lot of events going on every weekend, all the time. This gives residents a place where they know that they can find out what's going on in the city in permanent locations, rather than the stick-in signs that so many of us don't really want to see all over our streets. Yes. So second picture is, again, the City's Council's vision of introducing public art into unexpected places. And these are images of nature that you see throughout our city on our traffic utility cabinets. We're even entering into partnerships with Florida Power and Light to do some of their larger transformer boxes. And the limits on this are endless as to what we can do with art. We are engaging artists in phase 2. So we have over 500 submissions from local artists, and those images are going through the city's art advisory committee, and then those will be coming to City Council for approval. So you'll see more of these wrapped, and our goal is to have all of these wrapped by the end of this fiscal year. So our biggest project by far is the 13-acre neighborhood park, which is tremendously going to help the southwest area of the city, which is underserved by parks. This is the future, this is the groundbreaking in December of the Woodland Trails Neighborhood Park, which will also become the city's second dog park. So Woodland Trails was a community we recently named. Does anyone know where Woodland Trails is? Okay, so this is the point of the naming process, is we're going to know when all these communities are named where Woodland Trails is, where Canal Point is, where Oak Hammock is, and so on and so forth. But this would be off of Kalmar Avenue near Becker Road and Savona, or Becker and Hallmark. But we broke ground in December. Residents are amazed to learn that this park is being paid for completely by recycling revenue. And the park is on schedule to be completed in May.
What are some of the things that the park will have?
Question from the audience, or what are some of the things the park will have? I mentioned it'll have a dog park. If I can give you an example of another neighborhood park, maybe Oak Hammock Park comes to mind. There's typically a small playground feature, no lights for league play, but there will be like a light in the parking lot for security reasons, restroom, pavilion. What else is in that? Exercise stations, thank you. Open space, open field for playing. So.
And the playground will have they will have specialized features in the park.
Yep. All funded by recycling, yes.
Does it have anything to do with these exercise things that I've seen on the
Man, you guys are ahead of me. So yes, yes. Okay. So these are some other projects that we've recently implemented. Kind of some under the radar projects, but yes, the bottom left picture shows fitness stations at Jessica Clinton Park. These are highly popular. I drive by the one on Crosstown constantly and always see somebody there using them. So this is a feature that's coming to the new park that we're building. We've installed street trees in certain locations, and we want to do that citywide.
Can I go back to Woodland Trails, Carmen?
Sure.
So we almost got everything. It also has a nature trail through the preserved wilderness, you know, the woods there. We mentioned the dog park, the natural buffer, the open space play area Patricia got, parking pavilion with picnic tables, the playground we mentioned, and Neville's outdoor fitness equipment, restrooms, and very important, sidewalk connection to Becker Road, so that you can tap into the sidewalk.
Excellent.
And have access.
Excellent. So yeah, so if you want information on that project, go to the Woodland Trails website.
We're having an issue with the online community hearing the questions from the audience, so if we could use the handheld microphone
Okay.
or repeat the question.
Okay. Okay, very good. So yes, if you want information on that project, go to the Woodland Trails website, and we will be updating that as the project moves along. So bike racks, benches, recycling receptacles, pet waste stations, landscaping, all of those things that make a community nicer, that's what we are all about. We are setting some of this recycling money aside so that when we meet with groups of people, we're calling them STAR projects, and the STAR projects are the short-term assessment requests. So what we don't want to do is come meet with you and not be implementing the projects that are helpful to you. So each community will have a certain amount of money and for their STAR requests.
Can I ask one question?
With the mic, yes, we have a question from the audience, the live audience here.
Going forward, every community is going to have a park.
The question is, okay, well, I don't have to repeat the question because it was on the microphone, but is every community going to have a park? This Parks and Rec Department is developing a master park plan, and that's underway, and they're going to look at what areas of the city are underserved. This one here, this Woodland Trails Park, was designated in 2002 as a park site, but due to certain economic conditions or whatever, you know, we went through during those times, we were not able to do the park. So this will be the first park we've built since 2005, I believe, Canal Point. Mayor's going to chime in with some additional.
I can make certain statements that Carmen can't, and what I'd say is that's why it's so important for you to define what a vibrant neighborhood is, because maybe on citizen input, the council is going to determine and make a policy decision that a vibrant neighborhood does have a park, and in fact, you'll probably see from me a challenge to the council and our whole team that a vibrant neighborhood is one that has a park within a 10-minute walk from any house in Port St. Lucie. So one of the goals that I would like us aspire to is to make that a reality. But it takes a real commitment because obviously that takes money and time. It takes a village, and obviously anything that I would put out there as an aspiration is only as good as if you want to support it. So I'm here for you. That's an idea. It's something that other communities are working on. It's the 10-minute challenge. So you have a couple of national organizations that are promoting that. Other cities have signed on, and I hope the city of PSL will too.
Okay, great. Any other questions from the live audience so far? I know we have we have a little more than 20 people watching right now live on Facebook, and people can watch that recorded after the fact. But great questions. So please continue using your green recycling card. I can't stress it enough. Volume has increased by 50% since we implemented the program back in 2014. The revenues have increased from about $350,000 a year to over $1 million annually. So again, if you notice that someone's not using that cart or someone in your household is not recycling, let them know they are throwing good money away. So again, save the date for the annual Nice Day block party. This is February 17th, which is right around Valentine's Day, so we're going to have a theme for this event called Fall in Love with Your New Name. So we hope everyone comes out and celebrates Valentine's Day in a good, fun way. So don't miss it. Be a part of it. If you have children, bring them out, make them a part of it. We're going to incorporate something for everybody at this event. So we're very excited about achieving the city's strategic goals and establishing vibrant neighborhoods and keeping those vibrant neighborhoods thriving year after year. So that is my presentation. Thank you for the opportunity to present to you. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for those that are online. And just would like to take any final questions and also encourage everyone to vote. Voting, again, as a reminder, is open now. You can vote on your smartphone. The city's website is mobile platform friendly, so you can vote on your tablet, smartphone. But find out what that preferred name is for your neighborhood, vote for it, and then come to our event to see the reveal of what that's going to be. So, any final questions from the audience?
Would Port St. Lucie ever have a recycle day where you can bring your recyclables and, like if you have paper or that sort of thing?
Most of Port St. Lucie is served by curbside recycling. One of our biggest challenges are multifamily units, apartment complexes, condos, and so forth, where it's not offered. So we have not gone down that road, but what we're looking at are drop-off centers where people can take their recyclables to a park or to a drop-off center to dump them.
I think she's talking about, like, instead of shredding papers, there's a pay place. You can take it and they'll shred everything for you. They'll shred everything for you.
So the question is about a shred-a-thon, about security. Okay, identity theft. That was the word that escaped me. So the police department does those events. I'm not sure if anyone knows about the shred-a-thon. Mayor Warbeck's going to chime in.
So we had one this year, and it was actually oversubscribed. There was more demand than we had shred time. So I believe that the police department is working on it, and let staff follow up on that through the city manager's office. But it is something that we work on. We also, in addition to have the recycling drop-offs that Carmen mentioned, we do have hazardous waste day. What do we call that day, Carmen?
Household hazardous waste.
Yes, and do we have it twice a year or once a year?
Have it twice. It's back.
Okay, because I was going to say I advocate twice. Previously we've had it once, but I think we have demand for twice.
Okay. Yes, a couple more. Okay, hang on, Whitney.
There's one online. Marco is asking, what about a sidewalk budget for making our neighborhoods vibrant? So we can walk the parks.
Okay, so the question is, what about a sidewalk budget so that we can make our neighborhoods vibrant and be able to walk to parks safely? I would encourage everyone to go online to the NICE website, go to the interactive portion of that website, and you can see the 10-year sidewalk master plan. And what our focus is, I'm trying to get to that page there. Okay, so again, I don't have it on the slide here, but go to that interactive website, contact Mark if you have a special request, and then we can certainly run that through our Public Works Department, who is funded to install sidewalks throughout the city. That's a high-dollar, high-ticket item, so that's something that would take collaboration across departments. And when we are looking at that, we are looking at partnering with other departments on all kinds of neighborhood improvements.
But the city does have a sidewalk master plan?
The city does have a sidewalk master plan, Marco. It was just adopted this year. It's one of the 7, it's part of the 7 strategic goals that Carmen's already referenced. It's a big part of our strategic plan. Council is very much dedicated to doing the basics very well, and we believe you have to have a strong foundation, and that foundation includes a sidewalk system that connects all of our arterials and major collectors to parks in schools, all schools within a 2-mile radius. In fact, it's one of our highest priorities, and also repaving. So this year, staff responded to the City Council's policy direction, hey, let's have a master plan and be able to communicate exactly how we're going to go about repaving and building sidewalks in the city. So if you live on an arterial or a major collector, on a major road where there's a lot of traffic, you're most likely going to get a sidewalk in a 10-year period, and there's a budget assigned to that, and we have some of it that's unfunded, quite frankly, and we're working on that. We're working on that on that gap. But we're leaving no stone unturned to build out all those sidewalks. Now, if you live deep in a neighborhood somewhere, if you live somewhere over off of Fairgreen, for example, you're not in the sidewalk program. Let me tell you, as mayor, sidewalks on quiet residential streets where you only have the people that live on the street, sidewalks are a very highly local decision. Some people would kill to have them. Some people would kill to keep them off. And it really has to be decided on almost a case-by-case basis, like our streetlight program. And that's something that's going to be made available to the residents on a case-by-case basis. But we're focused on those major roads where you have a lot of traffic, you have a lot of pedestrians, and never in the middle shall they meet, right? We want to keep people safe. We want to keep them separate. That's what our focus is. That is what the Sidewalk Master Plan is. Please check it out. And that's why when we have funding conversations and budgets and you hear the county proposing a local option sales tax, those are the kinds of just things that we need you to think about. How important are sidewalks to you? Do you want to see them in 5 years versus 10 years?
We have a question right behind you.
Well, I stole the mic from him. Then we'll go back.
Yes, I have two questions. Does the city provide information or assistance informing neighborhood associations?
So yes, through our communications department is where we channel all of our external communications. We have the NICE website, and that's where we are going to be looking to connect with residents to post information on projects. We would have to, if you're looking for a social media presence, we'd probably have to use Facebook channels. Our website is not set up to become a chat room or anything like that, but it's more us posting information about what's going on in your neighborhood, and then you can respond to us via email or phone call.
I see. Well, I'm new to the neighborhood, and recently I came across a website called Nextdoor. How does that fit in with it? Does it belong to the city?
Nextdoor is not a City of Port St. Lucie app or a website. It's a private website. It's a social media website. And right, so people have drawn Nextdoor. From what I've gleaned from it, is a website where you can go on, you can draw your own neighborhood boundary, and then communicate with residents and encourage them to sign up to do that. So, in a perfect world, we would have our Nextdoor boundaries match our city boundaries. But as we're going to monitor that as this evolves, and we're going to see what people consider their neighborhood. Mayor Orbeck mentioned a 5 to 10 minute walk from the center of a neighborhood or from a park out. So I think what we're going to see long term is that we have these communities or these larger neighborhoods, and we think we're going to see that shrink down to what actually people feel their neighborhood is, and that's something that you can walk to if it's from the center to the outskirts and back.
All of us here are walking distance
Mm-hmm.
of each other.
Yes. Yep. So yeah. So basically, it'll be interesting to see how Nextdoor drives this process as well. Ma'am, question in the back.
Yes, Mayor Orvac said something about if you live off of Fairgreen, it's a relatively quiet neighborhood, and it is, but when we walk the dog in the middle of the night, there are cars speeding down our street, like speeding towards the crosstown wall. Is there any way that we could get speed signs or police surveillance or something? Because at one time when we were away, our daughter was staying at our house, and she said she actually had a jump when walking the dog in the middle of the night.
Yep, that's something we will hook you up with the police department and work through that, Mayor.
You want to hit the traffic calming program?
Please.
Patricia, you want to hit it? So this is one of the most common complaints that we get. So there's a couple of avenues. One and as your mayor, I never want to just try to pacify or placate, or a more crude way would be to say to blow smoke. I always want to be forthright with you. This will continue to be a problem as we grow out. It'll be one of the number one quality of life issues that we'll have moving forward. And the best way to manage it is through behavioral enforcement, and that means PD out there, educating and enforcing after educating in trouble areas. And then the other are physical improvements that can be made to the right-of-way to calm traffic. And traffic calming is so important to the city that the city council asked staff, and staff delivered a traffic calming program that's available, and the rules and the process are all outlined on our webpage at cityofpsl.com. And based on basically a petition process, you could work with your neighbors to go through a process to get physical improvements to the road. Now, just if you're thinking speed bumps, I want you to forget speed bumps, because speed bumps can't go on public rights of way. But what can go on are things like speed tables. And speed tables are the ones where you have an incline, you come up to a grade, and then you have a decline. It's not a bump, it's a speed table. You can pinch the right of way. You can use plantings to restrict field of vision. There are a number of engineering techniques, and of course, Patricia is a great engineer. She could bring you into further detail. But that program is available, and we encourage our residents to make use of it.
Yes, certainly I can talk with you after the presentation this evening, and we can discuss your situation. I will thank you, Mayor, for going through the process. There is requirements that have to be met, even after the petition part is done. But one of the first things we certainly can do is notify our police department, and that is something that I'm certain would be very helpful. But I'll talk with you afterwards. Thanks.
Okay, very good. Excellent Q&A. Thank you, Mayor and Patricia, for the helpful responses. Do I have any more questions? It looks like we have one more so far.
Okay. We are from the Abington Lakes area, and right by Crosstown, and there's a wall that goes up to near to the Fair Green. We just wanted to know if there's a schedule for cleaning, for painting, or maintaining that area.
Okay, so yes, definitely we will respond. We will coordinate with other departments. We do have an online audience, so rather than to get into individualized issues, we can, if there's no like macro level comments, we can talk about this right after the meeting. Stay as long as you'd like, and we can certainly work through some of those specific neighborhood issues.
Thank you.
Any comments on the program, the presentation, next steps? Okay, so I guess that will conclude the presentation. Thank you, Mayor Oravec, for being here tonight, and Patricia, and all of you that came out, all of you that are watching online.
You have computers set up in the
Yes.
back of the, and what is their purpose?
To
vote?
Yes, we have
Okay,
voting
just wanted to make sure,
live.
because some folks came in a little late, so we do have the opportunity right here, right now at City Hall to vote on your preferred name for your neighborhood, right in the back. Thanks.
We have.
Candid Folks is asking about shelters for bus stops for the kids.
Okay, that
You want me to take this as political hot potato? You want me to take this?
I would love for you to take it, sir.
It's funny because this group, Les Mark, had a conversation at, 2 o'clock today about, 1:30 or
Can you
so?
restate the question, though? Would you mind?
So the question was about having bus shelters for kids. So I want you to know that there are two different types of bus shelters in Port St. Lucie. You have the ones associated with transit and our transit program, and then you also have bus stops administered, planned, operated by St. Lucie Public Schools. And so I think this question about the kids, I mean, it could apply both ways. We have historically worked with St. Lucie Public Schools. Patricia was instrumental. We went out and we tried to build as many shelters as possible. I believe that Patricia and former city manager Don Cooper and others actually went out and strongly requested donations, and we used money to fund as many bus shelters as possible. The challenge on the school bus stops is that the school board historically will not commit to the same location every year, because they base bus stop location on the population going into the next year, and if they don't have demand next year, they will move the bus stop. And that's a problem, because we have to build bus stops to code, and we're talking hurricane code, so it doesn't blow away and ruin your house or your cars, or heaven forbid, life. So that's the challenge there. We're open to it. If we can convince the school board to work on it. I think that you'll see the city council. I can't speak for them, but I think the chances are good we'd get behind that effort. And then, you know, with community transit, with our bus system, public transportation in St. Lucie County, the TPO and community transit have done a good job trying to promote it and also make it available without fare. And since that's happened, I've seen ridership go up, and we have a lot of people just getting beat on in the elements. Our bus stops basically consist of signs. There's no shelter, there's no waste receptacle, which I think negatively contributes to the litter situation. You know, we want to keep Port St. Lucie beautiful, we want to be litter free, we want to be the cleanest city in the world. It's hard to do if you have litter everywhere. So we are working with the Florida Department of Transportation, the TPO, and others. We do have shelters going up on US 1, but it is possible for us to work on those other shelters. I would love to see people get behind that and encourage us to do it. And as with anything else, we will have to prioritize. A good way to prioritize bus shelters is by usage, starting with the most heavily utilized first. So it's easier probably to do on the community transit side. If you want to really go after the school bus stops, we're going to have a grassroots effort to persuade St. Lucie Public Schools to take another look at that and or come up with Patricia, world-class engineer. She's not a structural engineer, though. She's a civil engineer. A semi-movable, semi-transportable bus shelter.
And just to mention, thank you, Mayor, we do also have a co-op with St. Lucie County who is going to be constructing bus shelters throughout our city in various locations. And we should probably post that on our website, so we should get that information up too. But another serious and critical part too is a little bit about education for these bus stops, because when we did put them in, they were vandalized very frequently. And that's a concern because, you know, they get busted up, that, you know, I don't know who's doing it, it's done in the middle of the night, and of course then that doesn't make it safe for any other child to use the facility. So there's a lot of challenges, but I think that we can look further into those areas and talk with the school board. We have a good relationship with the school board. We meet quarterly with them. This could be one of the topics we can talk about the next time we meet. But I did want to bring up that St. Lucie County does have some more shelters going in throughout our community.
That probably credited FDOT with some of what St. Lucie County is doing. Mm-hmm. And we're brainstorming as we're discussing here. And what I would say is that if a particular bus stop is of critical importance to a neighborhood, that's what this NICE program is for, right? This is your opportunity to identify needs in your community, formulate solutions, and then work hard, work smart, work together until we implement them. So that's a perfect example of how NICE can work for you.
Carmen, I just want to bring up one other thing, and I know you hit on it a little bit, and that is I would like to engage all of the communities, the neighborhood communities, to start thinking about the persons that would represent your community. And Carmen, what is the term for it's the civic association, and I know one of you gentlemen mentioned it earlier. It's very, very important. See, so now we have a lot of you here from the Fairgreen area, or Section 35. I'm going to go back to the old days. I know you love that name. So, you know, and it's important because look at you here tonight. You know, this is great discussion, and so you may want to start thinking about, do I want to volunteer for that? I think it's important to tell our audience that's watching online as well, start thinking about, do I want to be part of that civic association? And we certainly can help to work with you to make that happen. But we need you to reach out to us to tell us who those persons are in your community. And that's very important. So start to think about that as you're picking your names and getting engaged. Sorry, did you have something?
I just want to say this. I'm not from the Fairgreen section, but what happened? I can have you help me out too. I've been here going 10 years now, and the area that I live is on off of Gatton Avenue. But ever since I moved here, I've strived to see to it that my neighborhood is different from everybody else. The first thing I did was go to the precinct when it was off of Russell, and I asked, how many pedophiles do you have here? How many rapists do you have here? They said, where are you from? I said, I'm from New York. That's what I want to know. And then I went, and in my neighborhood, what I did, I get together people, and every year, on my block, my street, every member of the area, they have a dish, and we have a little get-together, we have a little block party. Everybody on my street knows each other.
Not a cable dish.
Not a cable dish, yeah. But I've often left my house, drive to West Palm Beach, and somebody called and said, never, your garage door is open. I said, close it, you know. But we look out for each other. So we have like a little block association. And Peter knows about it too, you know. We invite other people and they come, but we're together on my block. That's what I know.
Excellent.
That makes a good neighborhood.
Do we still encourage block parties as part of Next?
Well,
We-
it's nothing.
The city has a permit process through the police department for block parties. I don't know that we encourage them, I don't know that we promote them, but we're going to have a kickoff block party, so we're going to do it, so yes.
Our block
What you're
party.
doing is really a model.
Yeah.
And we want to encourage more of that.
Yes, that's.
Yes, I would like to get with you about that and come visit with the group, absolutely. Okay, yeah, so that will conclude the presentation. So some of the individual issues hang back after the meeting, and then we'll talk about some of those issues. If you wanted to come to this meeting and couldn't make it, we'll be repeating this presentation tomorrow at the Community Center, 10 a.m. to about 11:30, right here across the street at 2195 Southeast Rosa Boulevard. And then we will also be repeating the meeting again on the 22nd at the same time, 10 o'clock to 11:30. And then finally, if you need a night meeting, we will be at the Floresta Drive master plan meeting the 24th of January from 5 to 8:30 p.m. So you have 3 more opportunities to come meet us here in person, but you don't have to. You can vote online. Know that our contact information is always available, and we're here for you. So with that, thank you all very much.
Thank you.